I'm trying to be more tolerant, you know, there's too many, everybody's got their own thing going on. It's a waste of time to not be open-minded and learn these things. I'm trying to be tolerant, but it's difficult. That tolerance, it's tested routinely. I was on a flight going from Denver to Chicago, and halfway through my flight, midair, 35,000 feet, guy sitting next to me starts eating pancakes out of a bag. Not like a Ziploc bag with like a little seal and like a hey, I meant to do this vibe. Like a bag from the store. Not a store that sold pancakes. See what I'm saying? Like a Foot Locker bag. They get me, they're just loose. They're just loose in there. They're like bingo balls, just loose. And there's nothing wrong with what he was doing, morally speaking. But you gotta realize that Denver to Chicago, I'm trying to be more tolerant, you know, there's too many, everybody's got their own thing going on. It's a waste of time to not be open-minded and learn these things. I'm trying to be tolerant, but it's difficult. That tolerance, it's tested routinely. I was on a flight going from Denver to Chicago, and halfway through my flight, midair, 35,000 feet, guy sitting next to me starts eating pancakes out of a bag. Not like a Ziploc bag with like a little seal and like a hey, I meant to do this vibe. Like a bag from the store. Not a store that sold pancakes. See what I'm saying? Like a Foot Locker bag. They get me, they're just loose. They're just loose in there. They're like bingo balls, just loose. And there's nothing wrong with what he was doing, morally speaking. But you gotta realize that if you do some wackadoo shit like eat pancakes out of a shoe store bag on an airplane, you're forcing strangers around you into a world of questions they never anticipated they would ever have to ask.
Auto mechanics do not want you to know about this little device. This $59 car scanner is blowing up online right now. It allows you to diagnose any problem on any car and get it fixed for a fraction of the price, saving you thousands in auto repair costs. A bunch of young engineers at Johns Hopkins University discovered they could use AI technology to give everyone the tool of a professional mechanic, but in a device that fits in the palm of your hand and is a piece of cake to use. It works with any car made after '96 and syncs with your phone to instantly diagnose any issue, so you never get ripped off by mechanics again. This has gone through years of development and thousands of beta tests, and finally, it's here. It's called Fixed, and auto mechanics hate it. It diagnoses more car problems than the $4,000 machines that professional mechanics use. It tells you what's wrong in plain, simple English that even a 9-year-old can understand. And it tells you exactly what it costs to get it repaired. This is state-of-the-art technology that previously was only available to pro mechanics, costing thousands of dollars. With Fixed, you don't need to flip open the hood and scratch your head for hours. You don't need to read complicated manuals to try and figure out what's wrong. You don't need to stress about paying over the odds to shady mechanics. Simply plug it into the port under the dashboard that every car after '96 has, and Fixed analyzes over 7,000 car problems to tell you what's wrong in seconds. You'll never be at a loss as to why your check engine light has come on. Fixed can even turn it off for you and give you regular maintenance reminders, from oil changes to tire pressure gauges, giving you accurate, easy to understand guidance every single time. So many people are switching over to Fixed and saving so much money. And what blows my mind is that even professional mechanics are using Fixed now too. This is why this device is selling out every week right now. Without it, you're at an instant disadvantage when you walk into any auto repair shop, because they can say anything to empty your wallet in seconds. But not anymore. This is the perfect companion you want with you whenever you're driving. Last summer, I took Fixed with me on a cross-state road trip. Everything was awesome until the check engine light lit up. Without Fixed, I would have been screwed. It told me that the problem cost $30 to fix. Unlike the repair shop who tried to charge me $2,200, I left there immediately and used Fixed to find a trusted mechanic less than 2 miles away. They repaired my car right away for just $25, and I was back on my road trip less than 1 hour later. Whether you have a car problem now or want to prevent expensive problems in the future, Fixed is the low-cost device that can solve all of your car worries in one fell swoop and save up to thousands every single year in repair costs. But here's the thing. If you're going to buy it, there's good news and bad news. Good news is right now, for a very limited time, it's available for a 50% discount. But the bad news is this has sent demand through the roof. Everyone is trying to get in on this. There's only
First off, First off, all the questions, all of them. First off, every question. Why? How did you get to this point in your life? Where are you going? Because, that's not, how do you wind up, if you're on an airplane, you're on there with purpose. You're fighting gravity to travel through the sky to land on another part of the Earth's crust. Nobody's like waking up casually like Amelia Earhart, like, I think I'll take to the skies today. You have purpose. You have reason to fight nature, to go somewhere else. How do you have that purpose in your life, but still do it with hastily packed hobo snacks in your midst? That's not how you catch a plane. You're not like, is this one going southbound? Haven't seen Grapefruit Joe in a while. Drop in, we'll share some beans. That's not how you catch a plane. Usually getting to an airport, that's your number one priority in the day. I don't care what happens, I'm gonna get to that airport. I'll lose a hand, I'll fix it when I get there. Just get me to the airport. This guy was number 4 or 5 on his list. This guy was like, I know I got a flight, but it is Tuesday, and you know what happens on Tuesday? Silver dollar flappies. That's what happens. Tuesday's silver dollar flapjack day. A lot of people say, hey, how come you make the silver dollar ones? I make them that way. I don't make them full size. I make them smaller because I can eat more of them, and I get more of a sense of accomplishment. And so I like to do that. And that's a lot of batter over there, but I'll freeze it off. I don't have to eat them all, but I'll make them all, and I'll freeze them in Ziploc bags, and when I need them, I'll just have them ready. What time is it? Oh, shit, I gotta go! What's around? Well, I did buy some new shoes the other day. Foot Locker bag, shovel. Not Bindle, boxcar, airport. Woo, made it. And he got on the plane. He's on the plane, meaning he went through security. He went through an x-ray machine. His stuff went through. Pancakes got x-ray that day. A TSA agent, somebody with a badge and responsibility, if they were fulfilling even a fiber of their requirements of keeping the skies safe, somebody had to at least just like mumble somebody. Sir, is this a bag of pancakes? It is. Oh, yeah. It's pancakes, yeah. Well, I've never dealt with it before either. I'm gonna say go ahead. I don't know. We might get an earful for this, but right now, bon voyage, that's what I'm gonna say. And when you eat pancakes out of a bag in a semi-public place, there are rules. First off, let people know what you're getting into. Make a little announcement. Hey everybody, I got a bag of pancakes over here. Don't get freaked out. Offer them around. You don't have to go front and back, just same row. Don't worry, nobody's taking any. It's just a gesture. See, they are in fact pancakes. Would you care for some? No? I understand. Then when you go to eat them with your hands, because my man did not have fork and knife on his person, you eat them one at a time. Driver's ed style, 10 and 2. You take a little nibble out of 12, and you hold in your lap till you're ready for another bite. You follow those rules, go crazy. Hell, I like your style. Way to usurp inflated airport pricing. No, I got my own. Good move. This fucking guy. He starts off, he's just rustling around under there. He's just rustling. You can't rustle on an airplane this day. It's suspicious. He's rustling, he's kicking up odors. Now we got people, is that breakfast? I smell breakfast. You're not supposed to smell food on a domestic flight. All it takes is one paranoid weirdo to be like, I think hydraulic fluid smells like breakfast, we're going down. Now we're all in a panic, because you don't know what hydraulic fluid smells like. Gets the bag out, rips it open with a confidence, like, yeah, I'm eating all these bitches. Rips it open, starts rooting around in there, doing this cotton candy thing. Rooting around, but he's not looking in the bag. He's looking up and off into the distance with this look of glazed determination on his face. The kind of look you only see on the faces of people that are neck deep in swamp water because they're gonna catch a catfish with their bare hands. You know, just like, come on, get him! Pulls his hand out. He's got 2 or 3 just in a grip, in a fist. He's not going discreet under the chin. He's not going like, hey, I'm sorry for this, under the chin. He's going over the top, just like 93 Jordan layup style, just ha! Dropping them in, then looking around with an attitude after each bite. Like, snack time, motherfuckers. Boom. Jealous much? Are you shitting me? I'm a Delta Gold member. I gotta sit next to this. No syrup? You go straight to hell. Because I don't know where you get syrup in a situation like this. Probably another bag, seeing as how this dude operates. But even then, unwritten rules of decent society state you open up that bag of syrup, you pour it into your original bag of pancakes, and you tie it off nice and tight and shake it around for even coverage. Because you might be making a bit of a mess, but at least people are like, well, he's not gonna eat them dry like a psychopath.
This is a brand new MacBook Pro and our prototype sleeve first drop test. Here we go.
This is what I look like. Well, I know. Thanks. Like, I know what I can and I can't do in this world, you know, with what, like, this is what I look like. I know what I can and can't do. I know that I can effectively haggle down the price of a replica Civil War bayonet at a swap meet. I don't even know what I'm talking about, but this, I can get that guy down to $20 just with eye contact and confidence. I know I can do that. You know? Nobody in here is gonna be surprised if you see me about to get in a fist fight with the night manager of a Red Lobster over the technical start and end time of Shrimp Fest. You know, you see me marching around that lobby rolling up my sleeves like, God damn it, Doug, don't tell me you can't make them, tell me you won't make them, because it's 11:58. Just be honest with me. I think a lot of comedy comes from shared experiences, things that we can relate to. Keeping that in mind, anybody else in here get so drunk last month you had to call a cab just to take you to Wendy's? Couple, all right, maybe, couple, right there. Yeah, get to that special point in your mid-30s where you realize that drinking responsibly and crying for help just kind of turned into the same thing. Real successful Saturday night home alone. I want those spicy nuggets. You're too drunk to drive. We'll call a cab because you deserve them. I'm doing the right thing. How come it still feels sad? That's what I did. I called a cab, and another grown man drove to my house for money, because that was his job. And he got to my house, and I jumped in his cab, and I said this, don't do what I did when you get a cab. I just jumped in, and I just said, we're going on an adventure. And that's just $80 on the meter right away. But I don't want to be a tour guide. That's $80. That's a Peter Pan tax is what that is. So that's the same amount of money if I were to just jump in and be like, take me to Neverland. $80. You smell like you're probably gonna barf in here, so we're starting at 80. Doesn't matter where you're going. And so we drove to the Wendy's, and I made him take me through the drive-thru because I did not trust him not to leave me there. It was fair. He was suspicious of me. I was suspicious of him. It was fair play. But this is where I got in trouble, see, is because he was driving a van cab, which means I had to open the whole side door to place my order. I was like, well, there's no way in hell I'm not gonna fall on my ass doing this. So I had one hand wrapped up in the seatbelt and was just kind of hanging out the side like a helicopter machine gunner. I was just kind of hanging out. I realized, like, oh, this is how they do the high-speed ransom exchanges in the action movies I love so much. I'm gonna Bruce Willis the shit out of this. So I wasn't even at the window. I was just hanging out. I was like, you throw me the nuggets, I'll throw you the cash. And the lady working there, she threw me the little bag. She's got to cut loose. She's working late at a Wendy's. Have some fun with your life. Have some fun with it. So I got the stuff. I'm yelling at the getaway driver. At this point, it's the getaway driver. It's like, I got the package, step on it, go! But he's not in it. He's like, I cannot go with the doors open. I cannot drive with the doors open. But this is illegal. It's an illegal thing for me to do with the door open. I'm like, but we're doing a whole thing right now. Where's your imagination? But somebody clearly had not taken improv classes in college like some other of us have. You are not yes-anding right now. This other Frosty was gonna be for you, yeah. But you blew it, yeah. Spent $114. So I took out my most fatherly and responsible voice. I said, yeah, watch your kids, man. I'll do it, yeah. Huh? They're kids, man. They got tiny brains. They're easily manipulated. They should be fine. But then, because he's a responsible dad, before he left, he slathered him down with this SPF 8000 suntan lotion or what have you to protect them from the sun, effectively turning them into 2 bars of prison soap I got to try and hold on to at this pool. And he just leaves. He leaves. Now I got these little slippery bastards. Now the 3-year-old hits the deck, just slides right into the deep end of the pool, promptly starts sinking. I kind of get a hold on the 1-year-old, but he's like a buttered jelly bean. That thing just squirts right out the other way. Now I gotta start running around this family fun center looking for these kids, and I gotta start grabbing them, and I'm grabbing kids, and like I'm trying to grab one and then compare them to another one, because I kind of remember what they look like, But, and the thing is, like, people are real territorial about their kids. I didn't know that. Like, you can't just like grab one and walk with it for a second. People are like, is that your kid? It's like, no, piss off, man. I'm doing a thing. You gotta have a whole story. You gotta have a whole reason or whatever. I don't know. But, so I start calling. Now my friend, his kids, he's a smart guy. He named his kids, he gave them smart kid names. Named them Malcolm and Archer. 2 smart kid names. So now I gotta run around looking for a Malcolm and an Archer. I gotta start calling out Malcolm and Archer. Now people at this pool are getting nervous, rightfully so, because this does not have 2 kids named Malcolm or Archer. If I do have 2 kids, I probably don't give a what they're doing, because I'm gonna be a negligent father. That's a given. And if I do have kids and I am calling them out by their names, by those ages, I probably have nicknames for them already, like Miller Time and the Boss Man or something. Like, that's what I'm doing. So I'm running around, I'm trying to gather up, like, oh, Malcolm Archer, I'm calling these kids names, I'm looking around, I'm taking other kids, comparing them to other kids, and now people are getting real nervous. Now the lifeguards, he's got the whistle in the mouth on the ready, because they're starting to put together that this is a Tuesday afternoon. And anybody that looks like this does not have legal custody of children on a weekday. This is every other weekend at best. I have lost privileges, for certain.
Did you know that the average adult has 5 to 20 pounds of toxic poop in their body at any given moment? Seems crazy, right? All that.
I'm happy because I discovered one of the keys to happiness. And it was simple. One of the keys to happiness, all you need to do is redefine what a miracle is for yourself. That's all it is. Just loosen up your definition of what a miracle can be, All a miracle is the world letting you know it can still surprise you. That's all it is, plain and simple. And if you adhere to that, you get to experience miracles all the time. I get to have them all the time. Recently, I experienced a miracle, and the miracle I experienced was I burnt my laundry. That's it. And it's something that should have just pissed me off, but I didn't even know you could do that. Just sat at the laundromat holding a meteorite that used to be my favorite t-shirts. But instead of getting pissed or angry, I was overwhelmed with a sense of joy and curiosity about the world. Instead of being mad, I was just yelling out at everybody like, did you know this could even happen? I put the same coins in the same machines as you all did. You got fresh laundry. I created a new element for the universe. Spent 2 weeks just calling myself the alchemist. I took it serious. I have been chosen. Things are going good though. I did an interview. I got to do an interview for Hustler magazine. Yeah, that's a weird, no, you're right to have mixed emotions. Some like, okay, yeah, and some woos. I think if I was younger, if I was a teenager, it would have been a woo. Yeah, thanks. Sure would be, Kyle. Appreciate it. Well, that's the thing. I don't know, like, because at 15 it would have been a woo because, like, yeah, it's Hustler, but then to be in it in an interview, that's a weird, like, because then I would just be wooing, be like, yeah, my friends are gonna see my face while they're holding their dicks. Like, that's. So I don't know how that's a weird thing to be excited about. But I did it because still, okay, comedy's going all right, and a publication wants to interview me, so I'll do it. Any press it's press. And so I did it, and I didn't think anything, because it was only going in the print version too. And I don't know who would even acquire a print. I don't know who that's for. Like, I don't know who's still buying, just anybody that doesn't have access to technology, like a hobo whose entertainment fund is a sock full of nickels finally overflowed enough, like, time to get us something fun for around the garbage fire, boys. Or it's just some new version of hipster that's over vinyl. It's just really into analog porn now. Just some new type of dude hanging around. It just has such warmer tones to it, you know? It's just there's a subtlety to it that digital's just never gonna capture. And plus, it's just so nice to hold something in your hand, you know, to feel the weight of it. It's great. So I did it, and it was out there, and I didn't think anybody would see it, but my mom found out. So I had to have that phone call, which I never thought would ever happen in life, which was, I mean, if you could be your own mom going, what's this thing in Hustler that you did? And I panicked. It was a new panic too. It wasn't even like I got this situation, but it was just like, no, it was an interview, words, it was words, and there was no pictures. I didn't do pictures, it was words. It was for comedy, and she goes, I know you didn't do pictures. And then it got weird because I'm like, why, you don't think I could do pictures? Like, whoa, that's a corner of your brain you don't want to enter right now, Kyle. Leave that shit alone.
When school isn't a place you have to be, why not go to school where remote learning can be as remote as you want?
But once at that point, I was ready for her to probably be disappointed or let down and say something. You know, it's your mom, and if she finds out you're in any context, I would think like, well, Kyle, sometimes you do some things and I don't agree with them. And I was ready for that. Not that I want to disappoint her, but I was ready for that generation gap. But instead of disappointment, what I got was her saying, oh, I know it's just an interview. It's just your father and I have been driving around trying to find a copy. We don't know where to go. Such a worse feeling. Oh, Mom knows how to crank up the dial. You're probably disappointed. No, it's just your father and I have just been bursting into liquor stores and porno shops all over the western suburbs of Chicago, going to the guy behind the counter like, "Hi, do you have any hustlers here?" Which I could see that guy being stunned, like, "Wow, you're the oldest perverts I've ever seen." But coming in as a couple, heartwarming, you know? Way to keep it spicy in the silver years. Let's see what we got here. We got a penthouse. That's sort of along the lines. Probably don't know how the computers work. That's why we're going print, okay? We got jugs over here. That's a little more something for the fella. But, you know, hey, I'm not going to judge you guys where it's at. At that point, it's probably where my dad's just getting frustrated because they're wasting time, pushes my mom out of the way, just goes, "Nah, we need Hustler. That's the one our kid's in." Like, ooh.
Welcome to Settlers Live at Nerd Melt, Los Angeles! Tonight's comedians are coming up without a set list. We are going to give them a set list, and they are going to improvise the routine that goes along with it. Out of complete and total thin air with nothing to protect them but their fragile egos. Right here before your very eyes, ladies and gentlemen, leaping into the comedy abyss.
Everything you're terrified of, like forgetting your material, it's exactly that. It's your biggest fear. And it's great. It's the most liberating thing to do. I gotta get my my improv chops. Well, I don't have any improv chops, so I just have to get my make-em-ups together.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you welcome that never-before-seen set list of Kyle Kinane!
Coming. I mean, does everybody know? I mean, you know, I get to perform comedy. I get to do this, but you have to have 2 jobs in Los Angeles. Everybody knows that. People move to this town with they're just dreams, and you can't put dreams on a resume and say, "I want these filled." You know, you can't do that. You got to come up with angles. I found a niche in sales, but I realized that there's a need out there, and that's the whole thing about sales. You have to fulfill a need. The hipsters, they're getting rid of their dogs. They're having babies now. Now we start our top tier. It's a membership program. In our top tier, we can offer you various. We've got Jennifer Aniston. We've got a lot of. Now that's top tier. That's gold status membership. We got some of her juice over there. Juice, I call it here now because we're casual in a more professional setting. And we refer to it as a celebrity lactate. As we refer to it, there's a lot of celebrity lactates, and. Believe it or not, we got a few fellas in there. A couple of the ones getting later on. Gavin Rossdale, he's getting a little chunky. He's got a little meat up there. We got him to squirt out a little bit. We got so there's so many breasts out there. So talk to me after the show. We got that. I got a clip for you. Everybody loves a good boner joke. Am I right? There's something. What's amazing is the detail. You got to give it 1 extra inch to let people know it's a joke. You go around with a 5.5 faker. That looks real. That's gonna lock you up. You're gonna get put in a joint. You go out there with 7. Everybody's like, "Oh, look at this guy." Doing the thing? What is that? No, wait, it's a funny joke. What he's doing with the thing? 5.5? This creep. Stop looking at my kid, man. You know, 7. Oh, you can go on a swing set with that. A big old laugh. Just point that thing right to the sky. On a swing set. People have a good old laugh with that one. So that's when you're doing your fake erection pranks. Just remember, you got to go. Give it an amount. Give it a humorous amount. am not a God guy, but I know that's that worst thing. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual. What a horrible thing to say. What a horrible thing to say to people. But the idea that there is, I don't look at him for him or her or it, or for any sort of spiritual. It's more of just like that's like a Wikipedia for your soul. That's how you got to look at the concept. You know, just you have questions and you want to know why. You know, why do babies die? Sometimes nobody told that baby to join a gang. You know, nobody told that baby. Nobody told that baby to go skydiving. They don't make harnesses for babies that size. That baby wanted to go skydiving. You ever had to say no to a baby before? Those little eyes. It wasn't even the impact, too. It's the fact that it needed a smaller chute. That big chute jerked the thing right back up. We didn't realize that the chute opening was just gonna break all its little soft bones. That's a bad baby. Just filled just like wet popsicle sticks in there. They don't even crack. You just hear a kind of creaking sound. You know? Just kind of like a... It's a real shame, too, just because the wind just blowing that baby around up there, so it looks like it's still full of life, you know, because it's just its lithe little arm just being pushed around. So we couldn't even tell what happened till for me, people noticed that about 60 feet up, they're like, "Oh, something's wrong." I was like, maybe he's just getting into the mellow, the spiritual side of it. You know, the Zen part of skydiving. As we all know, the Zen part of skydiving is when you just look down on that great big world. Baby didn't even know what a world was. He just came into this one, but knew he was meant for something bigger and wanted to see it from a different perspective. I'm like, you've only been here 3 weeks. You don't even have perspective. And the baby threw. I mean, I understood. He was like, get me up there. So, and yeah, he just tumbled right in the grass there, and the chute fell on him. And it was another 20 minutes just trying to find him underneath that thing. You know, you feel like, I got him, and you cut that part into a lump of grass. You don't even know. And that's an instant where you just go, why? Why, God, why? I respect the educational element with which this is being done. But I seriously doubt any of you fourth graders are going to be going into entomology. I also hope I used the word entomology correctly. I thought that was the word your teacher said right before you put pins in me. I appreciate the eternal flight pose also. It's a rather glorious way to go out. Oh. Listen, I know I only lived for about 2 weeks. But did you see what I had to go through before? The cocoon and shit? It was a real ordeal. You know, and I just burst out, and I got these wings, and I got 2 weeks, just 2 weeks to use them. Just 2 weeks to find out what flight's all about. I'm just like a baby in a parachute up there. I don't even know. And it ended so short, so you guys could just
mash me with pins and then go drink chocolate milk on a swing set later. So I'm a little bummed. At that. But I hope you get an A. I hope you get an A.
It's Aspen Dental's Everyday Smiles event, where new patients get a full exam and set of x-rays with no obligation, no insurance.
All right, you guys ready to start the show?
Oh, this thing that they're doing on a stage that all these people are here for.
All right, you guys ready to start the show?
I was 16 years old, and a friend, he's like, we're going to a Screeching Weasel concert. I was like, I don't even know what that is, but I need to make some friends and do something. Like, if there's like an older, cool skateboard kid asking me to do something, I'll say, whatever you want. Heroin? Let's do it. I just need acceptance. Please let me into the group, because I had nothing leading up to that. At that point, this was, I mean, I think Nevermind came out in 91 as a freshman in high school, and that was like the big, impactful, this record's changing stuff. And I listened to him like, hey, it's like kind of good. It was probably sad. It like bummed me out. I was like, I'm 14. What I got nothing to be sad about? Things are good. I ride my BMX bike wherever I want. Music's bumming me out. And like Pearl Jam was like, all right, but I'm still like, ugh, sad all the time. But this is what I like. What this is about. And and up to that point, I was invited to go to concerts. I was invited to go see the Ramones with Social Distortion opening, and my mom said I couldn't go. And I missed going to see the last Naked Ray Gun, the heyday of Naked Ray Gun in Chicago. I wasn't invited by the cool kids. I just remember being in my Spanish class, like, I can't believe that concert was awesome. I'm like, you guys got my number. You could have told me. It just sounds cool. I don't know what it is, but it sounds cool. So because the vicinity where this place maybe a mile and a half where we're going to go see Screeching Weasel, is a bar called McGregor's in Elmhurst, Illinois, which is on the corner of Route 83 and North Avenue. And it's not a significant place. There's a Burger King on one corner, like an old steakhouse on one, and a creek, and then the strip mall where the bar was, where the band would be playing. But the only significance that place had is that I found out from my uncle, who's a firefighter, was talking about how that was during the Cold War. That was ground zero for where Russia would drop nuclear bombs on the Chicagoland area, was that intersection. He's a firefighter, so he had all the hazard maps, and that's where they hit it. Because if you're a warmonger, you want to kill the most people. So you really think, like, do we want to just hit right in the middle of Chicago? Because so much of that blast would go out over the lake, and how wasteful would that be as a warmonger? So let's make sure we find the population center of that city, and that was the intersection where I was going to go. I'm like, oh, I know this place. That's where nuclear bombs will land if shit goes down. So we went there, and it was Valentine's Day in 1993, and there's a line just going around this whole mall. It was a sports bar that would have all ages shows in the back. And I'm like, how are all these people here for this band? So they're not on MTV, and they're not on the radio. How do people even know about this band? And it was everybody that was in line. I'm like, oh, these are the kind of people. All right, I like these guys. You got like weird shit in your face, tattoos. You're like 13. What are you doing? All right. And when we got to the doors, and we were like maybe 10 people away from the doors in the line. They're like, it's closed, sold out. And it was the last show of this bar, of this place, McGregor's. And like, so Screeching Weasel said they were going to do one more show later. So we waited. We just sat there. And it was a school night, Sunday night, 11:30. I'm like, I don't even care. I got to see what this is about. Why are all these people in line? And I went in and saw Screeching Weasel. And it was from sitting there having a guitar that I bought and thinking Joe Satriani. I'm like, I'm going to play like Joe Satriani. Going, no, you're not. No, Slash exists because he's Slash, and you're not Slash. You're Kyle. And Kyles are never rock and roll stars. There's never like Kyles are always just assholes or nerds from 80s movies. That's it. That's your lot in life, buddy. That's what you got. Let's alliterate your name. Thanks, parents. Kyle Kinane. Double down on those comedy Ks. So I saw this band and I saw them play. I'm like, I know that chord. I know what you're playing, and I know that song, and I could play that song. And so to watch them play, I was like, I can do, and it was the music, it was all the music I want. Like, that's what music's supposed to sound like, and all these people heard about it somehow already. I got to figure out what they know, and I got to figure out how to play what this is. So I had enough money for one record, and I went with Economy, because look at it was the Wiggle tour that they were on, but Boogada 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 had the most songs on it. I was still a frugal 16-year-old at that point. I'm like, it's got the most songs, bang for the buck, give me that one. And I think within 3 days, I had learned every song on that album. And at that point, I was like, oh, this thing that they're doing on a stage that all these people are here for, I can do that thing. I can do that. I'm playing it right now. And if I get somebody else to play bass and drums, which can't be much harder than me figuring this out, I could have a band. I never thought I could have that, listening to, Appetite for Destruction and thinking like, I got the first 3 notes of Paradise City down. Like, I'm never going to be in Guns N' Roses, but I can figure out how to play this. And that was the most inspirational moment in my life, realizing that was still something that was accessible, that music was accessible, that I could play it without being some virtuoso. And so I learned that album, and I started a band, and because of that, I got over stage fright and realized being a smart ass I could do it in front of people, but then eventually realized that my music ability capped at Screeching Weasel songs. But the smartassery proceeded beyond that, so I found stand-up comedy. So that night and that album's kind of responsible for where I'm at in my life right now. So yeah, Boogada Boogada Boogada. That's the album that changed my life. So cheers, guys. Thank you very much.
Cleaning with Pine Sol has always been deeper than clean. It's about making a space for joy, resilience, and love.
Hello! Thanks to the 3 people that answered that. I'm in the hotel across the street. The hotel across the street has an odd design where they have the mini refrigerator right next to the safe. And the safe has a digital keypad on it, so it makes it look like a microwave. So what I'm trying to say is I locked my leftovers in the safe. So if anybody plans on robbing room 830 of the Hyatt, it's gonna be a real shitty score. I'm just gonna rob a guy with real weird priorities. He left his wallet on the counter, but there's a half a tin of poutine locked up. Guy's got weird priorities. I'm like an awkward guy. This is actually terrifying for me. I'll tell you this is where I'm at socially. I recently said, God bless you, to a cat. The cat sneezed, and then it was quiet. And that made me uncomfortable, because I was raised right. So I sneeze, I'm like, I'm gonna say something. I'm like, yeah, but it's a cat. It's like, to hell with it, we're all God's creatures. I'm going for it. God bless you, cat. And then the cat looked at me, because that's what they do. They look at the origin of sounds, but they have very judgmental faces. So this cat looked at me, and his whole expression was like, you know I don't have a belief system put into place that would require a blessing from a deity. You do realize that I'm a cat. I think you say stuff like God bless you because you think that outward presentation of being nice masks the fact that deep down you think you're not a good person. I think that's why you put on a facade of politeness. Furthermore, I was worshipped in ancient Egypt as a god, all right? If I need to bless myself, I can bless myself. That's one of the benefits of being a deity. It actually comes in very handy. I sneeze all the time. I'm covered in cat hair. I might be allergic. Try that one on for irony. And as much as I was surprised that I said, God bless you to the cat, next thing that came out of my mouth was like, well, go fuck yourself, cat. That's what I said. And if you were a fly on the wall in that room, all you saw was a guy alone go, God bless you, cat. Go fuck yourself, cat. And that's why I don't interact with people so well, all right? Because that's the level I'm at with the animal kingdom, and it's not going so great. It's either that or like I smother the opportunity for conversation. You know, somebody will just be like, how's it going? And I just crush it like Lenny and the Bunnies, like, you want to be friends? I was on an elevator, it's alone. Guy gets on the elevator, regular looking fella, and doors close, and he says to me in a very nice way, he just goes, you smell nice. And I said, thank you, because I don't get that compliment ever. This smells how it looks, all right? There's no surprises here. You're not gonna get within an olfactory radius and be like, is that daffodils? Who would have thought it? So he said that, and I was flattered. I said, thank you. But then the next thing out of his mouth was a lot more ominous. His second effort at conversation, he kind of lowered his gaze at me, like I passed the first test. And then he said, you just get out of the shower? That's never information I've needed from someone before. I haven't asked personal friends that. That's not something you need to know. And he said it real weird, like it was a checklist, you know? Like, ooh, you're already scrubbed up? Good, that's gonna save a lot of time when we get to the desert. Clean skin is the best for making lamps out of. Like, what's this guy going after? But instead of seeing this as a threat, I jumped all over it because somebody wants to be a new friend. My response, I was like, what do you smell? What do you smell? Is it lavender? Do you smell lavender? Tell me if it's lavender. I got a new face wash that I'm using. It's lavender. Tell me if it's lavender, because it might be that. It's very overpowering. It could be a whole body, but really it's just my face if it's lavender. Lavender? And he responded by immediately exiting the elevator. Like he just split. And that's when I realized, oh, I just out-creeped a creeper, is what I did right there. My own desperation became a form of self-defense, and I became too much work for a pervert. This guy had his sights set on me, scored me up. Oh, 170, a little doughy. I can take him down, and he just got out of the shower. Great. I opened my mouth up about a face wash. Next thing, he's just like, this guy's just gonna chew through the gag and ruin the whole van ride. I wasn't looking for a project today, all right? I was just trying to kill an afternoon. That's my time. Thank you very much, you guys.
We're calling these the new billion-dollar solar panels. They're a new generation of super powerful solar panels that was just released on the market.
I don't know. I just think that if you need to have the gun, there needs to be a dress code also. you can't just have the gun and then wear. You need this, the rest of this needs to match. Because not only do you have a weapon, you also have a very aggressive accessory now. All right? You have a centerpiece to your outfit. It's the focal point, and the rest of it needs to coordinate. All right? That's what I'm saying. You ever see a woman out with a tiara, but no ball gown? Just like sweatpants? That's a crazy person. That's what crazy looks like. That's not someone making sensible decisions. No, that's a woman just yelling out, "The Kremlin stole my babies!" And everybody is like, I don't even need to be in this auto zone right now. I don't even need... What did I need? Seat covers? I'll get seat covers tomorrow. I'm gonna let this weird homeless princess find her children. That's the same thing with a gun. You can't just have that and then not... If you have a gun here, the outfit needs to make you look like a responsible member of society, like you know what you're gonna do if that gun comes out of the holster. If there's a gun here, this shit needs to look like John Wayne or Indiana Jones or Captain America. I don't know, something that people be like, well, he knows what he's gonna do with the gun if it's gotta come out of the holster. I was in Colorado, I saw a guy who was open carry right there, and I saw the gun first, and then I saw that it was attached to some board shorts. No! Long pants! Long pants! You have a weapon, long pants! This is low-rent Johnny Utah shit when you got it clipped on to some swim trunks? With drawstrings? He's using drawstrings to hold up the weight of a gun. You know how tight you gotta pull those drawstrings? Now I know he's in a bad mood because his hips have been chafing all day. And that's not the attitude you should have with a firearm walking around like I should have powdered because I'm just getting all red on my hip bone. What are you looking at? Stop looking at my calves. And flip-flops. Get out of my country. Flip-flops. Flip-flops. I don't even own guns, but I know that if you're gonna draw down on somebody because you're one of those good guys with a gun that stops all that crime, thank you so much for how often that's been happening. If you're one of those guys, if you want good aim, closed-toed shoes. God damn it, closed-toed shoes. Well, you're the one who's gonna stop a crime when when you take it out of the holster and then you're just swishing around in your Tevas. Explain that to the cops when they get to the scene. Like, what happened here? Well, I saw the perpetrator run out of the bank with a duffel bag full of loose bills, so I deduced that he had robbed the bank, and then fortunately I have a licensed open carry, and so I went in pursuit of the suspect, but what had happened kind of during that pursuit is I Jimmy Buffetted myself right on... I just straight up Margaritavilled myself and blew out a flip-flop. You know it's all parrot heads, right? All right, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I shanked it. I shanked it. That one went off. That one went off into the playground over there. Fingers crossed, right? I was trying to do the right thing.
This brilliant monocular telescope is taking the world by storm. It lets you see everything from miles away and shoot stunning HD pictures with your phone for a fraction of the price. This amazing invention was made possible by a major discovery.
Good evening, champions. We've already won because we're here. Hey, this happened to me. I had to talk to somebody with a lip ring. Have you ever had to do that? That should never have to happen. I had to talk to somebody with a lip ring. You ever hear somebody with a lip ring offer their opinion on something? It's almost adorable, you know? Because like they have no idea that when they talk, all people hear is, hey, guess what else I'm wrong about? Like they don't even notice that that's what's coming out of their mouth. You want to know what I think? No, you fucked up that option when you did that to your face. That's what happened there. I know what you think. It's wrong, whatever it is, no matter what you're saying. And if you say something I agree with, I'll change my mind because I can't be on the same side of any conversation. I just don't want to listen to people give me opinions ever. Everybody wants to tell you what they think about stuff. Like, I was in a bar the other day, or all the time, you know, whatever makes the story work. And there's a fella sitting there, and he's spouting off about the politics, and you gotta vote for this guy, you gotta vote for that guy, you gotta get the... First up, I don't think you're on the political pulse of the world if you're getting drunk on a Wednesday afternoon. I don't think you really know what's going on in the world. Furthermore, anybody that doesn't already realize that our world leaders are hand-selected by a committee of the Illuminati and the lizard people, take a hike, man. You don't know what's going on. Telling me my vote counts? That's a terrifying concept. Look around. All your votes count. I saw a guy taking a shit on a sidewalk earlier. His vote counts. That doesn't scare the fuck out of you? My vote counts. You should be terrified of that. I'm not qualified to pick out. When I wear headphones, I think I become invisible. And you're telling me I can pick out presidents? That's too much. I stood at an airport urinal for 20 minutes once, just with my iPod, listening to Eddie Money's greatest hits, just twirling my pubic hair like it was a villain's mustache. I had to get halfway through 2 Tickets to Paradise before I realized there was other people around. I'm not qualified to do anything. And then, like all my friends, we're just all idiots that just drank and did drugs all the time. And now my friends, they have children? Oh, that scares me to my bones. They can't my friend has 2 daughters. I saw him fall off a roof on purpose once. But he just made kids. Because you can do that. I had another friend, I was complaining on a Sunday night. I was like, oh, I gotta go to work all day tomorrow. He's like, you gotta work? I gotta babysit. Like, babysit? They're your children. That's called fathering. And everybody, it's always a miracle. Every time somebody is like, oh, it's just a miracle. We're having a kid, it's a miracle. Oh, you had sex, right? Yeah? Then no. That's exactly what's supposed to happen from the sex. There's a baby. You try everything. I always call it a miracle when the girl doesn't get pregnant. That's when I get spiritual. Really? Nothing at all? Nothing? All right, you're winning some points up there. Okay. But at least all my friends had the accident babies, which is a good thing. You know, they all had the mistake babies. Like, you what? You pregnant? All right, fuck it. We'll keep it. We'll put it in the corner, throw food at it, see what happens. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be an interesting child. You know, there's nothing scarier than when you meet 2 people that are like, we're trying to have a baby. Those are the creepiest people I've ever met in my life. Because they're always the people that sit too close to each other at the bar already, and they're like touchy, and they like feed each other nachos all creepy like. They're already weirdos. And then they're like, we're trying to have a baby. We're trying to have a baby. No, you're fucking. That's what you're doing. But you're taking all the wonderful, sticky, filthy things about fucking. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll slap that and do that. Maybe a finger? No finger. Okay, no finger. You know? You're taking all those wonderful things, and instead of that, you're just replacing it with, this is how we make little people with our faces on them. And that's horrifying. That should be the furthest concept from your mind. That is disgusting. This is how we make little yous and me's. Guys, my name's Kyle Kinane. Thank you very much.
Only pay for what you need with Liberty Mutual. I just said that.
No, I fell back in December. I fell real bad. I was at home. I fell in the shower. I was drunk. I was drinking in the shower. I drink in my shower. I drink in my shower. Not like I need to drink so much that it carries over. I wait for the shower. I choose to drink in the shower because everybody deserves a spa day in this world. And I'm glad you agree with me. Why is it perfectly acceptable? Oh, drive out somewhere and go to a spa. And if you lay down in their establishment with rose petals and champagne, that's fine. But I do it vertically in my own home with a 6-pack on the back of the toilet for easy reach, and I'm some sort of scumbag all of a sudden? It's the one room you can be alone and naked and have a cocktail in. Every other room in your house has a drink appointed to it. Are you on the porch? Have a mint julep on the porch. Oh, what are you in your living room? Have a sophisticated scotch or a snifter of brandy. What are you in the garage tinkering around with your motors? Have a beer in the garage. But I'm gonna have something in the bathroom. Like, you should probably go to meetings. No, man, I don't agree to that. I set it up. I have an event for myself. I have the drinks on the back of the toilet. Don't bring them in there with you. You don't need them that close. I have a waterproof Bluetooth speaker for the shower shelf. I put the iPod on shuffle in the other room, and I let Steve Jobs DJ my mood from beyond the grave. And he gets it right. All right, DJ Steve, that's the 160 gig model, 35,000 songs. I got about a 9X roommates libraries on there. What can you do for me? 5 Motorhead tunes, then 3 Lionel Richie jams. Shit. I think I'm just gonna start believing in God again. Why not? Not out of any kind of like repent or anything. Like, I'm just bored. It's just a more fun place if you're agnostic. Like, just leave the maybe there, you know? It's just more fun. Like, why do trees grow so tall? Maybe it's God. Is that a guy following us with a knife? Maybe it's a chupacabra. You know, it's just, it's the world's a more whimsical place if you get into that. I believe in Bigfoot. I think Bigfoot's real. But I think his whole thing is that he f***s you while you're camping. You're just camping, your tent opens up, and you're like, oh man, it's Bigfoot. And he's just like, shh. Nobody's gonna believe you, bro. Take off your pants. That's why Bigfoot walks like that, all laid back, just got done There goes Bigfoot. Looks like he just got his dick wet. Yeah, Bigfoot. Sorry. It's the dumbest joke I've ever written. I've been out a lot. I was in Edinburgh, Scotland for a month last year doing shows. It was a fine time. I said the whitest thing I've ever said in my life in Edinburgh. Not anything terrible, but just white. Just white. Sometimes you're like, you know, sometimes how you're like, you're hyper aware of like, whoa, that was white. Like where you even have to step back after something comes out of your mouth, like, oh, This tuna salad is pretty good, but it could use a little bit more mayonnaise, Barbara. You were more well-rounded than that, dude. Come on, man. A karaoke birthday party on a Monday. You're crazy for this one, Timothy. But then once in a while, you just top yourself. That's what happened to me in Edinburgh. I think the exact phrase I used in Edinburgh, I was like, I can't believe this castle doesn't have Wi-Fi. That was it. It's not getting whiter than that, dude. That's it. You complained about brand new white shit inside of real old white shit. You just made a honky turducken is what you did.
So Bespoke Post, they just send you a cool box every month.
Wow, this is good, awesome. This thing is jam-packed.
I'm 35, I just got my own place. Took a while. Some people my age are astronauts. I was delivered an unsliced pizza. Everything you believe in just unravels. Everything you hold true. Some people, it sounds like a simple mistake. Not me, I took it personally. I was like, that's somebody down at Domino's making a judgment call on my life. That's somebody seeing my name come up on one too many tickets and finally just being like, listen, man, we know that you're probably gonna eat this by yourself. More than likely all in one sitting, too, so. You know what to do, man. Just fold it in half and bon appetit. Just because they were right, I didn't appreciate the assumption. You don't know me, Domino's. Plum. Like, at some point, if you live a peppered enough existence in this world, you will deal with a variety of police officers, most of which you did not call. And eventually, you're gonna deal, if you deal with enough of them, you're gonna deal with the one cop that was almost you or somebody you know. And that's a weird moment that does happen if you're out there getting into enough shit, that one part where you're like, I'm gonna fight them all, and one guy comes around and looks at your t-shirt like, I like that band, I saw them in '97. You're like, that was a good show. Whoa, my emotions. Like, there's not a lot of them, but there's a couple out there. Because some of them just need jobs. That's it. Some of them like, who's hiring? The police department, whatever. And it's some of it, it's just a job. And at the worst, it's a customer service job where the customer hates you all the time. And you know there's a bunch of them out there like, why'd you become a cop? I'm like, oh, well, I was bullied as a child, so I just repressed that anger, and now I can take it out on society with the protection of a badge. You're like, yeah, you fuckers are ruining it for everybody. But then you know there's a very, very small fraction of them. If you're like, why'd you become a cop? I'm like, oh, well, it pays $10 more an hour than the post office, and I get a gun. Like, I get you. I was almost you. And I remember the first time I dealt with that type of cop, that like just party cop that should be doing something else because he's bad at it. I was at my first adult party. I was maybe like 20, 21, and a first adult party. Not adult party like some lascivious, coked out orgy or anything. But just that first party you go to where it's like the host is trying to make that transition of like, we're not just gonna be psychos tonight. And so it's where like you get there and there's like dip on the table. And it's not just like, oh, I got snacks. It's like, it was symbolic. It was the host going, nobody's gonna light themselves on fire or jump off the roof. I got snacks. And you just realize what that means. Like, it's over. Your youth is over. And you're just like fucking 2 fingers in it. I think we went to somebody's house because they bought a new couch. That's why we were having a party. Like, you going to Tony's? Why, what's up? He bought a couch. What, with his money? Shit. That's a big move, man. Couches are free. You drive around, you get a couch. You want to get real ambitious, you go on Craigslist. He bought a couch? Somebody's doing well. So we went over to his apartment. It's like you couldn't even, that couch, again, that's just symbolic. It's not just a couch. That's somebody going, I'm gonna have a career and a family. That's why I buy new furniture. And you have to treat us as such. That's a baby, basically. You can't smoke or drink or do any drugs around it. You just have to compliment. It's a good couch, Tony. It's a nice couch. And everybody's gotta go on the back porch to get into all their nefarious shit. So this whole party just walks through, cool couch, bro, and then goes in the back. And it's a Chicago apartment. It's about 3 stories. We're on the back deck. Each apartment has its own back deck connected by a fire escape. So we're all out there, and nothing too crazy. Underage drinking. Everybody had a lot of pot, which back then you can catch a charge. It'd be like a pain in the ass to deal with. So it was a reason to get creeped out. A couple kids, huff something they found. So a few wild cards running around. Party. It's a party. There's untouched dip in the kitchen. So we're all just out there lamenting the fact that age has befallen us. And a uniformed police officer descends from the upstairs balcony. And that's not how cops break up parties. Not from above. And especially if you're messed up and partying and stuff, and you see that, you already assume the SWAT team just zip line through the front windows. So panic ensues. They're coming in from everywhere. Just panic on the whole porch. You just got the pothead, smart enough to hide the pot, not smart enough to put it out, just jamming it into cargo short pockets, and then 30 seconds later, like, shit, which pocket? And then, you got a 17-year-old who's just grenade tossing beers out of a 30-pack over the railing with the 22-year-old who bought them next to him, like, I could have those, they're mine. And he's just like, I'm not taking any chances. But nobody can go anywhere because we're just all stuck on this porch, so it's just a bunch of broken video game characters stuck between worlds. But the cop that came down was just affable, like just straight up friendly, like I've never even seen. Like friendly to the point where at first we all thought he was supposed to be an undercover cop, but he forgot to change into street clothes. Like that friendly. He's like, how's it going, you guys? I'm smoking a little Doge, man, chilling. I love it. What's everybody looking at? What's going on? What? Did I forget to change? Son of a bitch. He did. He just came downstairs and was just, love it, man. I love it. It's party on a Friday, man. I miss it, man. That's my favorite night to party, Fridays, I can't anymore, I gotta work. Did he just point at his badge? Like we were unclear on what he did for a living? So he's hanging out on the porch, and he's just like, there's music playing. He's like this band, I heard these guys, and he's tapping his foot, and he's looking into the apartment, and he's just checking things out through the window, like, he's investigating, he's looking for drugs. Did we have drugs? And like one of the, looking around, and they're like, maybe he's waiting for backup, because we're a hostile group. It's not that people just frozen. It couldn't be that. And we realize he's looking in, but he's not even like he's just looking in there. He's like, oh man, what's that, guacamole? I love that stuff, dude. It's a new couch. All right, man. Where'd you get that from? You bought it? Who does that, man? And he's looking in there, and he's tapping his foot, and he's listening to music, and we're all trying to figure, like, why is there a cop at our party? Just such a weird thing to have to ask. Like, does he want some guacamole? Do we offer it to him? So he's just tapping his foot, but eventually we realize, we gotta self-incriminate because we gotta find out why he's here. Like, how do we say, like, is it this pot that you're here for? Like, somebody's like, ask him if the music's too loud. We're like, good one, all right, music too loud. So he just gotta officer? And just nothing, just. All right. Officer! And he finally, we get him, but even him turning around wasn't even like cop-like. He just goes, huh? Like, come on, dude. You're on duty. You can't surf cop us right now. What's up? Like, so we asked, we were like, so music's too loud, right? You're here because music's too loud, and that's why you're here. His response, he just goes, oh, no, man. You guys are cool. Guy died upstairs. Man, you suck at being a cop right now. I don't know if you've ever gotten the best news and the worst news in the same sentence before, but that's emotionally taxing on your heart. That's not even an emotional roller coaster. That's just an emotional elevator that does that. And even he could tell me, because the whole party just gasped and then shrank by 6 inches, like, and even he was affected because you could see him try and backpedal, like, no, it was natural causes. It's ours, natural causes. That's what somebody in the back of the party goes, that means it could happen to any of us at any time. Best crowd control I've ever seen. Unintentional crowd control was just like, you guys having a good time? Yeah? You've been dancing underneath your own mortality for 4 hours.